Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. It's Sunday, November 19th, 2023. And in today's live stream, we will be talking about severe weather here and breaking down all of what you need to know as we move into your Monday, November 20th of 2023. And if you are new to the channel and before we get into the live stream and not subscribed, it's free to do, folks. Every one of you that are joining here, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. It is free to do, and we talk about detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics on this channel. I do have daily weather videos that I post at 8 o'clock in the morning Central Daylight Time to help you plan your week, your month, or whatever for weather. So that is what we have here on this channel for you. And be sure on this live stream periodically to press the thumbs up button down below. Definitely the more likes we get, the more people that join. So that is very important here on Weather on the Go. So thank you guys so much for joining here. We're quickly approaching 55,000 subscribers. So thank you to all the new subscribers out there, all the recent subscribers that have stuck with me for so long. I definitely appreciate it. It has been a big help, and we do accurate weather forecasts very precisely on this channel. So let's talk about our next big storm, because this is going to produce some significant severe weather as we move into your Monday, November 20th, 2023 time frame. And that storm is out across the west, in particular the Rockies region. We are seeing that the vorticity, and what vorticity shows is where you see these brighter colors on the screen back across the Four Corners region and edging its way in towards West Texas. This is the lift associated essentially with our low pressure system that is starting to wind up here across the eastern Four Corners region today. That will shift east as we go into your Monday. This is tomorrow, and notice it takes a bit of a negative tilt almost as it moves up across the deep south and the mid-south region. And this is concerning because usually negative tilt troughs bring the most significant weather, whether it's a big snowstorm in the wintertime or it's a big severe weather maker or both. That definitely is a possibility. This go around, we're not talking about a major snowstorm, we're talking about a major severe weather event. So this is what we see with our vorticity signature as we get into Monday afternoon and Monday evening. Notice it digs all the way south to the Texas-Mexico border there with some of that lift, and then starts to turn more of negative tilt across the deep south, in particular East Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and this is concerning from a severe weather standpoint. So let's look at this as we go into Tuesday. Even on Tuesday, we start to see that weaken a bit. So it starts to get all stretched out as we go into Tuesday on the 21st of November. So I think the severe weather threat will be much lower on Tuesday. It's still a possibility from Monday into Tuesday morning that we do have that severe weather lingering east, particularly across Tennessee into Alabama there, Georgia, and northwest Florida. But the severity of the storms will not be as strong as we see on Monday. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. And we're going to walk you through this here today, right here on the live stream. So if you are joining, press the subscribe button, like down below, much appreciated. It helps out more than you know. So looking here, this is the Storm Prediction Center's, this is the Day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This will become a Day 1 outlook at 1 o'clock in the morning, a Central Daylight Time. That is when they issue their new outlooks, and we'll have a better grasp onto what to expect in my video update tomorrow morning that I post at 8 o'clock in the morning. But as of now, we do have a large slight risk area of severe weather in the yellow there. That stretches across East Texas, southern Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and parts of far southwestern Alabama. And we even have a darker green shaded color. Those are essentially a 1 out of 5 on the scale. That moves as far north as Little Rock, Memphis, getting up toward Jackson, Tennessee, the Birmingham, the Tuscaloosa region in Alabama, and kind of bordering on the line between Mobile, Alabama as well with that. And then down toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Houston. That's where we have that marginal risk of severe weather. Essentially, I-35 on east there in East Texas will be seeing the brunt of the severe weather on Monday. And then you see the third color here. That is a level 3 out of 5. So that is getting a little bit higher in severity and coverage of severe storms. That is just to the south and east of Shreveport right now, covering northern and central Louisiana into south central Mississippi. That is covering the heart of the Jackson, Mississippi metroplex. So if you live in those regions, be sure to be on the lookout for Monday afternoon and evening for severe weather as we go into that time frame. So again, just to break this down for you one more time, the light green area, we're not seeing any severe weather. That is just a general 0 out of 5. That's just some garden variety thunderstorms. Severe weather is essentially not expected. Once you get up into the dark green, that's a level 1 out of 5. That's a marginal risk. There is isolated severe weather possible in this area with the dark green, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, and possibly a couple of tornadoes within this region is possible. Once you get up into the yellow color here, that's a level 2 out of 5. That's a slight risk, and that is scattered severe weather will be possible, including all modes of severe weather, including damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail or larger, and even several tornadoes will be possible within that area of yellow, including possibly a stronger tornado as well. And then especially into the orange shaded color, that is a level 3 out of 5. That is an enhanced risk of severe weather. That is the highest risk we have so far, and that means that severe weather will be numerous in coverage, and it will be likely as well, and possibly the most significant out of all these colors on here will be the orange. We could be seeing several tornadoes, including a few that could be strong, long track. We're talking EF2 or stronger in intensity. We're talking damaging winds that could be up around 70, 80 miles an hour, and potentially even the threat for some large hail up to around golf ball size or larger than that with some of those storms. So that is what we're seeing as we go into Monday. All right, so let's kind of look ahead at what we can expect with each of our probabilities here. This is what we call the probability maps from the National Weather Service and also the Storm Prediction Center. Right now, there's a large area that has at least a 2 to a 4% chance of a tornado tomorrow. That is in the dark green shaded color. So if you find yourself in the dark green, places like Dallas, getting down toward Houston, Little Rock, Memphis, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and then just east of Mobile there in Alabama, that is a 2 to a 4% chance of tornadoes within a 50-mile radius. So a tornado will be possible there. In the brown shaded color surrounding, kind of in between there, the Shreveport region and getting down toward Lake Charles, Louisiana, New Orleans, Mobile, those will be the areas that have a slightly higher chance of tornadoes. That is up to a 9% probability of tornadoes in that vicinity as well. And then you notice another color. You have the yellow with the hatched marks just into central portions of Louisiana around the Baton Rouge, Alexandria area, and then getting over to Jackson, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, those areas as well. That is a 10% up to as high as a 14% chance of not only tornadoes, but a 14% chance of a strong long track tornado within this vicinity as well. Those are the tornadoes that could be EF2 or stronger in intensity. So that is something we're watching out for the Deep South. So this is a little bit rare compared to what, when I say rare, I mean, we haven't had a lot of these events as of recent. So this is the first real significant severe weather event we've had this fall season. This is what we call the second severe weather season. And certainly this is the area that we always look for in the Deep South, near the Gulf Coast, in the Southeast for severe weather. And we certainly have it as we go into Monday. Now, looking further at the severe wind probability, this is the damaging wind probability from the Storm Prediction Center. And notice that we do have a couple of colors on here as well. The brighter the color, the better chance of severe weather and also damaging winds. It's kind of a bullseye there over eastern and northeastern Louisiana and south central Mississippi, right around the Jackson, Mississippi region. Could be seeing those 60 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts in this region as well. And then notice the hail threat. It's not as significant because the instability will not be very strong. You got to have real strong instability to support some big updrafts that could produce those real big hailstones. We have that, but it's not like off the charts instability on Monday. So There will be hail. There probably will be some quarter-size hail. There may be hail that could be larger than quarter size, but right now the hail threat is the lowest of the three. So in order here, the tornado threat is the highest threat for severe weather, followed by damaging winds, and then hail would be third in line as well. So that is something we're keeping an eye on as we get through our Monday. So looking at some of the parameters coming together for tomorrow's severe weather event, and let's kind of dive into this. A lot of weather nerds on here probably, and like myself, and you can see most unstable CAPE. CAPE is convective available potential energy. So that is kind of an acronym for that. So convective available potential energy. What the colors mean on this map is essentially the higher the number, the better the chance of severe weather, because we have more energy in the environment. So we do see these lighter grays across, especially East Texas, but southeastern Texas, toward like the Houston Metroplex, getting into Louisiana around Alexandria there, around Shreveport, Lake Charles, and then getting over toward New Orleans. That's essentially around 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram. That's how you measure CAPE, is joules per kilogram, and that's how much we have down across East Texas, into Louisiana, and southern Mississippi for Monday afternoon, and then getting into early Monday evening. Now, again, that's not off the charts. You can see the chart on the bottom of the screen. It goes well above 5,000. That's what you usually see in like the summer time frame with those derecho events and stuff like that. We don't have that on Monday afternoon, but what's going to serve as kind of an indicator for some more significant severe weather. We have weak instability overall, but what's going to override that really is going to be the wind shear. We're going to have a lot of wind shear down here across the deep south as we go into Monday afternoon. So let's look at the 500 millibar mid-level jet stream, and you notice it's cranking out of the west-southwest here. You can see the purples, you can see the reds there. That's between about 70 and 90 knots, folks. So that's pretty strong winds coming in the mid-levels on the base of that trough, and that's going to be moving into East Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And notice how it kind of turns more north there. It's trying to take that negative tilt that we were talking about, and you always have to look at that for more lift with our severe weather as we go into Monday. And what we look at as well, another layer of the jet stream, is the 850 millibar low-level jet. Now, this is important for tornado genesis. So the stronger the number on here, likely the potential would be higher for more tornadoes, and strong ones at that. You can see the highest coverage of the strongest winds there in the low levels is across north-central Louisiana into west-central Mississippi, right in the heart of that enhanced risk area that the Storm Prediction Center has outlined at this point. And you can see that's around 50 plus knots. So that is pretty impressive low-level jet for this time of year, especially for Monday afternoon. And so you have weak instability, you have a strong mid-level jet, you have a very strong low-level jet. That will kind of act as a indicator for more organized thunderstorm activity as we go through later on Monday. So let's look at this a little bit further here, and then we'll get into the timing of the storms, when you can expect them in your community across the Deep South. This is the maximum updraft helicity. It's a fancy term for how far do these strong storms go. And the longer the streak on this screen does indicate more of those real strong thunderstorms. If a thunderstorm develops, say, into northwestern Louisiana, and you see the streak go all the way to central Mississippi, well, that's just essentially telling you the thunderstorm's not going to weaken anytime soon. So it'll go all the way across Louisiana into Mississippi and be pretty strong all the way on its entirety of the path. With the wind shear that we have, with the instability that we have, that is likely to be the case on Monday. And this also does paint a picture of, if we do have tornadoes, this will give you an idea of potentially some long track tornadoes and how far they could go if we do have one of those on Monday afternoon or evening. So kind of giving you an idea of what to expect. And notice the brighter colors, the longer tracked storms on this helicity map is across north-central Louisiana, maybe southeastern Arkansas, but more so from north-central Louisiana into central Mississippi. So from the Shreveport region, Alexandria, and then over toward Jackson, Mississippi, that's kind of in the middle of that pack as we go into Monday afternoon. I see a lot of comments coming in, folks. Yeah, I will be answering your questions, so hold your questions for now. At the end of the live stream here in a couple minutes, after we go over the timing of the severe weather, I will answer your questions here in just a couple minutes, so hang tight there. Let's go into the timing, though. This is 6 o'clock in the morning on your Monday morning. You're getting off to work, getting off to school out here across the southeast and the deep south. It will be A-OK outside of any showers or maybe isolated thunderstorm activity for Monday morning. If there's any thunderstorm activity, it will be brief across the deep south, and most of that will be up there near the low pressure itself into eastern Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas, and then into North Texas there. Most of that will be sub-severe. I'm not expecting a lot of severe weather to start off our Monday morning outside of any downpours or frequent lightning strikes back there, say in the Tulsa region, back toward Fort Smith, Arkansas, and then the Ardmore region back there into Oklahoma could be seeing some thunderstorm activity on your Monday morning. Midday, things start to change. The environment's going to start to warm up as it naturally does during the day. Instability will grow. Moisture will grow out of the Gulf of Mexico, moving northward out ahead of the cold front here. And there we go. We got a cold front interacting with warm, moist, and unstable air, and we have thunderstorms blossoming from the Little Rock region down here through Shreveport and into Tyler, Texas vicinity, and possibly even as far south as the Houston Metroplex as we go into the midday time frame on Monday. What this model in particular is showing, and this is the HRRR model, does very well with short-range guidance here. And you notice it's taking on more of a broken line type of scenario, which means that not all of these storms will be producing damaging winds. We have to watch for some discrete and semi-discrete supercells, the ones that could produce tornadoes. There could be some tornadoes embedded in the QLCS line itself, but I do think that if the further south you go, the potential for tornadoes will be there still because of those more discrete supercells. You can see they're by themselves down here. For example, like the Alexandria, Louisiana region, Jackson, Mississippi, getting back towards, say, the Lake Charles region, Houston even, could be seeing more of those discrete supercells where the coverage of thunderstorms will not be high, but any one of those storms that gets strong enough will be able to act on its own energy because there's not really many thunderstorms around it. So ahead of the main line, that's going to be the most concerning part of the severe weather event tomorrow, because of the storms by themselves that could start to rotate, and those would be the ones to produce some severe weather and tornadoes and strong tornadoes that could go long track for a longer distance for Monday afternoon. So that is kind of a breakdown of the timing there by the morning into the midday hours. By the time we get towards Monday evening, you're coming back from school, you're coming back from work by late afternoon, early evening time frame. These storms are going to be packing a punch through Mississippi, into Louisiana here, even into Alabama. We have to keep an eye on that, into western parts of Alabama with the open warm sector. Again, those semi-discrete supercells out ahead of the main line would be the ones to watch for strong tornadoes to develop there. I'm most concerned about our areas from Jackson, Mississippi on southbound, even though it's a slight risk of severe weather down here into New Orleans right now. Because of the nature of this model, you can see you got several supercells likely lining up here in towards eastern portions of Louisiana and south central Mississippi. Again, from around Jackson, Mississippi on south toward New Orleans. That is concerning because we have a lot of that instability down there right off the Gulf of Mexico. The moisture is there. We have all that wind shear I was just showing you cranking out of the southwest. We're going to be seeing that in the mid-levels and the low levels. So we need to keep an eye on those storms as we go into the evening hours. And then I think as we get towards the midnight time frame working into early Tuesday morning, that is going to likely be kind of more the end of the severe weather event for at least the significant severe weather. Now, will there still be severe weather at midnight? Probably some, but I think this will turn more to a damaging wind and heavy rainfall event versus a tornado event as we go deeper into the night, especially as these storms push into Alabama, northwest Florida, and Georgia there. But we'll still have to keep an eye on our friends over here into Alabama for potentially some strong to severe weather later in the evening and early on Tuesday. So that's kind of a breakdown of the timing and just the breakdown of overall the coverage of the thunderstorms, the intensity I'm thinking about with these storms. It looks like the strongest period of weather, if I back this up, will be between the noon time frame and about 9 p.m. on Monday. That's probably the prime time for severe weather. That 9-hour window from about noon on Monday, Central Daylight Time, to 9 p.m. on Monday evening into the mid-evening hours, Central Daylight Time. That's that 9-hour window where we're keeping an eye on the most significant severe weather potential for Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, and portions of Alabama. So that is something to keep an eye on there on Monday. All right, guys, you have any questions for me regarding your area for severe weather? Just give me an idea of where you are in the state. Say you live in like southern Mississippi or like northern Louisiana. We can break down a little bit more of what time you can see the storms, the impacts these storms could have for you. So if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section, and I will be answering as many as I can here for a little while we're here. And again, there's no need to really panic with these storms. Things can still change overnight into tomorrow morning, so don't take this and run with it. Things will still change. The models will still change. The future radar will still change. If you guys have any of those weather apps on your social media, like on your phones, tablets, TV, anything you see, things will be changing overnight. So what you see on the screen right now is not necessarily what the radar truly will look like, but it gives you a good idea of what you can expect going through the day on Monday. Here, just a minute. I got to put my, I'm going to put my laptop up here on, I got like a small table here, and I'm trying to fit my laptop on here so I can see your guys' comments. So bear with me just real quick here. All right, I think we got it covered here. All right, so let's go down through your comments and see if we have any questions regarding anything here. I'm going to go toward the top here of the comment section for you folks because I see there's a lot of people commenting here. Again, thank you guys so much for joining. Remember to press the subscribe button if you're new here. We do detailed weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics with weather videos pretty much every single day, and also some of these live streams for the severe weather events and winter storms coming up as well this winter. All right, so seeing any questions here about severe weather. I think Monday's risk is going to be a moderate. Right now, I don't quite think it's going to go to moderate right now with what I'm seeing. The only reason why I'm saying that right now is because if it was more of a discrete supercell day versus a line of storms, not really a messy mode of severe weather, then yeah, they probably may go to a moderate risk. But right now, it's kind of a messy mode of severe weather. We still kind of have to wait on new data to come in overnight to see exactly like if this is going to be truly a full line of storms, is it going to be a broken line of storms, and if we're going to have any storms out ahead of the main line. That is the question mark still at this point that we have. And we'll get those questions answered as we go into early tomorrow morning and really through the day to see how the weather unfolds. Severe weather is not convenient, but when it happens, it could be dangerous, and that's why we're live here tonight to tell you about it and get you more informed on what could happen and pan out tomorrow. I wonder if southeastern West Virginia will get snow before Thanksgiving. Well, it's not looking promising, I'll tell you that. We got some cold weather coming in, but for West Virginia, I don't think the snow line is going to get quite that far south before Thanksgiving, so that's probably going to be a no for that. Will Dallas-Fort Worth get a tornado Monday? I think the strongest weather will be to the east of Dallas. So let's go back to my screen I was showing you earlier. So here is the overall severe weather outlook for your area there on Dallas. Right now, Dallas-Fort Worth, the Fort Worth area is actually west of Dallas, and that is in the general 0 out of 5, the garden variety type thunderstorm. So we're not expecting any severe weather for Fort Worth tomorrow, but you could see some thunderstorms with lightning and heavy rain and all that, maybe some smaller pea-sized hail or something, but definitely not seeing any tornado activity for Fort Worth. Now, Dallas, you're getting closer to that marginal risk, and it looks to be I-35 on east, so Dallas down toward Waco, and then the Houston Metroplex especially, that's where they're in that marginal risk. That's a level 1 out of 5. But right now, Dallas is currently right on the line there. If I had to bet, I would say most of the severe storms will be well to the east of Dallas, toward like the Tyler region, and even east of there toward Arkansas and Louisiana. So yeah, we're not really expecting too much in the way of severe weather for Dallas-Fort Worth on Monday. As of right now, anyway. How's it looking for Chicago tomorrow and Tuesday? Chicago is way too far north for severe weather. Maybe some rainfall on the northern side of the storm. There could certainly be some heavier rains through Monday and Tuesday to the north there in the Illinois Valley, including Chicago, but no severe weather expected. Just a nice soaking rain for you folks up there. You're in the middle of the orange zone. Yeah, so if you're in the middle of the orange there, that is an enhanced risk. That's a level 3 out of 5. And enhanced risk means that numerous severe thunderstorms will be possible, if not likely, and that you could see several tornadoes, including a couple of long-track strong tornadoes. That's the EF2 or stronger intensity type of tornadoes. That's what we see there on Monday, and the orange especially there. So north central Louisiana, south central Mississippi, that's currently the area right now with the bullseye for severe weather on Monday. Yeah, there'll be many other YouTubers that will be live. I'm sure there'll be other areas that, local news outlets that will be live covering this event tomorrow if severe weather unfolds. So I probably won't be live, unfortunately, tomorrow afternoon, but I will be having a video out for you folks tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning Central Daylight Time. So you guys can see the updates with the severe weather. Not only just that, we'll look ahead to Thanksgiving and possibly into early December and show you what the weather you can expect across the country, even into southern and southeastern Canada. We cover that here on this channel. We'll be updating you on that with the video tomorrow at 8 a.m. What event in the chat? Event is saying, what is the chance of a moderate risk? Right now, probably pretty low. I don't think a moderate risk is warranted right now. We'll have to see what the overnight guidance shows. But right now, I think an enhanced risk is appropriate right now for this severe weather event. And again, it's always good if you guys own a weather radio, a NOAA weather radio, those are very good in getting you guys those watches and warnings that you need in severe weather events. They can wake you up and out of a sleep and alert you to those watches and warnings. So that's always a good tool to have, is a NOAA weather radio. Any social media weather apps on your phone, your tablet, any devices that you have are very good as well. And just, being live on YouTube here when this happens definitely is always a good option as well. Because I know a lot of YouTubers will be covering this as we go into tomorrow, because it will be a bigger event. Should North Alabama be concerned? Right now, northern Alabama, up toward like the Huntsville region and north of Birmingham, is kind of on that line between a 0 and 1 out of 5. So a couple of stronger thunderstorms will be possible, but kind of an unfavorable time of day for severe weather up there. Most of this will be coming in probably after midnight, so this will be on a weakening trend from west to east. So the further east it goes through Alabama, it will be on a weakening trend and likely trending more toward heavy rain versus severe weather. Sorry, folks, I'm kind of filtering through your questions. Not everybody has questions about severe weather, so I'm just kind of going down the line here and trying to answer as many questions in the chat as I can. If I didn't get to your question yet, sit tight. I'll try to get to as many as I possibly can. If you have any new questions, make sure to drop them down in the comment section. Yeah, I don't feel like it'll be a moderate risk either there, Ash, so no, I don't think so. At least right now, the data that I'm looking at, a moderate risk is not warranted so far for Monday. Just an enhanced risk, and that looks pretty appropriate for right now. Really? No notification, MH? Yeah, I'm not sure why. There should have been a notification for the live stream. How does North Central Wisconsin look this week? Well, no severe weather. Much colder though toward Thanksgiving. So, and again, I'll have that update for you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time on my video. We'll be talking about the country and what you can expect. Just joining, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do detailed weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics here. Obviously, the tropical weather season is almost over, so we're going to be focusing on North America here through the winter. We'll get you ready for all the winter storms ahead that you need to know and these severe weather events right here on this channel. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Is there supposed to be severe weather tonight? Yeah, there's a marginal risk up there tonight into north central Oklahoma. Basically, that severe weather event is probably, if there's not much severe weather right now, there probably won't be because it's getting darker out. The instability and energy levels are dropping off as they normally do toward the evening hours and overnight. So, no, I don't foresee severe weather being an issue too much for Oklahoma today. The bigger threat, obviously, is for Monday tomorrow, further to the east and southeast there of Oklahoma. Used to like winter, but not so much anymore, MH. Why is that? Is it too warm for you? Yeah, I know there's a lot of warm winters we've gone through. And I've always said this, is that this winter is going to be unique in its way because we have those very warm waters off the Gulf of Mexico, and that's actually a good point to have here to talk about real quick if you guys are joining. Is the Gulf of Mexico, as you know, we've been talking about it during the tropical weather season. It's been very warm. Those sea surface temperatures have been basically off the charts there, not only in the Gulf, though, but really the entirety of the Atlantic basin. And that is really going to play a key role in our upcoming winter because if we get a south wind off of the Gulf of Mexico up into like New Orleans, Shreveport, Jackson, Mississippi, and you have a big storm like we have coming in on Monday tomorrow, it's not going to take much to get significant severe weather because the moisture's there, because you have the Gulf of Mexico obviously not that far away, but those sea surface temperatures are very, very warm, so it really doesn't take a lot. Now, if you're up in, say, the I-95 corridor for this winter in the Northeast, those waters up there are above normal up there towards Cape Cod and Long Island, those areas. So any low pressure system that's off the coast to the east, otherwise known as a nor'easter, could be producing some very heavy snows later on this winter because those warm waters will help strengthen those low pressure systems a lot more and produce some of that snowfall further north and east, and then you get that cold air coming in on the backside. So that's why the waters are very important, especially for severe weather this far south. Ready for ice fishing there in Wisconsin. Yeah, it's getting to that time of year. It's getting closer, absolutely. We're getting into late November now. Maybe, Frank, maybe next week there could be some. I'll have updates on that in my video tomorrow. But yes, there could be some interesting snowflakes getting further south as we go through next week for sure. Stay tuned on that. So does anybody have any other questions? Right now, again, another significant day for severe weather. Shreveport on down there toward Jackson, Mississippi. We need to keep an eye on it here. Let's go through and look at some other weather models here. So let's look at the HRRR that we just showed. Here's through tonight. You can see that low pressure system up into central Oklahoma here. That could be leading to some heavier rain and maybe some stronger storms. I know there's a question about Tulsa in the chat. Right now, I'm seeing just some heavier thunderstorms, but a couple of warnings could come out of that, maybe with some severe weather and isolated coverage. Not really going to be that big of a deal up there in Oklahoma tonight, to be quite honest with you. And then as we go into tomorrow, there's our big line of storms. You got the cold front coming in from the west. The Gulf of Mexico is open for business out ahead of that. And we got the warm, moist, and unstable air. And then we got those prefrontal storms we have to watch out for. Those are those discrete and semi-discrete supercells, the ones that are capable of producing tornadoes and strong long track tornadoes as well. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, this will turn more into a line of storms. So there's going to be a brief window where we could be seeing some strong tornado potential. And then this is going to turn more into a QLCS line or a broken line of damaging winds and heavy rain as it pushes through Mississippi and Alabama, otherwise known as the Dixie Alley down here. So that's what we see as we go through tomorrow night and into Tuesday. Yeah, exactly. In Denver there. The Rockies, they've had a lot of snow lately, above average. So there you go. But that's the that's the HRRR model. Let's go look over here at the RAP model, see if it has the same type of opinion on this as well. So let's look at that as we go through tomorrow. You can see we got that low pressure system really spinning up there in Oklahoma. A lot of the air is going to be coming in from the south and east there through Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and that low pressure system sitting right there in central Oklahoma. And then as we go through tomorrow and into our Tuesday, there you go. You got a big line of storms moving from west to east. Again, other questions from Dallas-Fort Worth. It looks like on this model, the RAP model does fairly well with these events. And it has actually a lot, if about 95% of the precipitation east of the Fort Worth and Dallas region. So right along and east of I-35, that's basically the initiation zone for thunderstorms and severe weather tomorrow. And you can see it pushes across the deep south into the overnight hours as a big line of storms as it moves further east. Talk to you about Western North Carolina snow this year, please. We're in an El Nino, and it definitely is looking a lot wetter across the southeast this winter. I would say probably a decent chance for snow into North Carolina. If you were in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, those areas further south, decent chance for snow, but I think it'll be more second half loaded. So the first half of winter will start very slow for you. And I think the precipitation, snowfall coverage, and stuff like that, and the cold air will be more to the second half of the season. And that's really most of the U.S. A lot of this is going to be more January to March type of winter across the United States. It's going to be mostly Rocky Mountain, upper elevation stuff for most of us through the first half of winter through December and early January before things start to really get going January through March. That's the way it's looking right now. Again, folks, thank you guys so much for joining. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. This is Weather on the Go and all your weather coverage right here on this channel. We cover North America, the tropics, and we cover severe weather events, winter storms, ice storms, Arctic outbreaks, everything that you need to know right here on this channel. So make sure to subscribe down below. It's free to do. And press that like button as well. I appreciate it. So anybody got any more questions for the severe weather potential for tomorrow? Anybody that lives down in this area needs to be alerted for severe weather on Monday. We'll have another video update tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time to cover this potential severe weather event tomorrow. And many other events coming up as well. We'll look ahead to the long range, as I always do in my weather forecasts. We'll possibly look into early December there. Just to preview that, of course, my December weather forecast video that I always do at the beginning of every month, that will be coming out very short order in about 10 plus days from now. So be looking out for that as well on my channel. Conroe, Texas for tornadoes. I'm not sure where Conroe is. Let me see here real quick. All right, so it looks like Conroe, Texas is right off of 45 there. Yeah, so you're in a marginal risk there just north of Houston. So if you live in the Conroe region, yes, there is a marginal risk for severe weather there in the Houston area. And I'll show you that here real quick on this screen. So here's the outlook for severe weather. You can see the Conroe region in Houston area. You have that marginal risk of severe weather. You're very close to the slight risk as well. So you're on that line between a level 1 out of 5 and a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. So isolated to widely scattered severe storms will be possible. All modes of severe weather as well, with damaging winds, large hail, and a few isolated tornadoes possible for the Conroe, Texas region tomorrow as well. Mostly afternoon into the evening hours. In East Texas will be the initiation zone, so afternoon will be the time frame to watch for your Monday for any severe weather potential. The deeper you get into the evening and overnight, the severe weather potential will drop off for Eastern Texas. And, so basically the western half of this outlook is mainly earlier in the day for the afternoon into the evening, and then the eastern half of this outlook area from western Tennessee through Mississippi, eastern Louisiana, and parts of Alabama is more for the evening into the overnight hours and early Tuesday morning. All right, folks, so I don't see any more questions coming in. As long as we have questions, we'll stay on the live stream. Just wanted to go over the severe weather potential, not to sugarcoat it or anything. We're just on here talking about severe weather as we go into Monday afternoon and evening and answering any of the questions you have. Otherwise, if no other questions about severe weather or anything like that, I think we'll call it good here for this evening. I know it wasn't a long live stream. Most of my weather I do on this channel is through videos, so I will do that as we go into tomorrow morning. Be looking out for a video at 8 o'clock in the morning, Central Daylight Time on your Monday, November 20th. I will be posting updates on the severe weather event as they become available, and we'll give you new data on what to expect and inform you on the long-range forecast of what you can expect for Thanksgiving, the end of November, and maybe we'll even look ahead, a teaser into early December as well. We'll get you all you need to know there right here on this channel. Timing of the storms for Shreveport, of course, we can do that real quick. So here's 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and you can see here Shreveport, maybe a couple of brief showers or sprinkles up here. Probably not much happening early in the morning on Monday. I think around the 11 a.m. to noon time frame there, as it stands right now in Shreveport, will be the time frame to keep an eye on the severe weather as we go into northwestern Louisiana. So late morning, early afternoon will be prime time for severe weather in Shreveport. All modes of severe weather, damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes will be possible, including the potential for a strong long-track tornado, probably more so south and east of Shreveport, but very close by, so we'll keep an eye on that. Last December in central Louisiana, a tornado touched down a mile from me at 2 in the morning, and the next night we had 45-mile-an-hour winds as the temperature dropped to 0. Yeah, sometimes late this in the year you get those real strong cold fronts, you get severe weather, and then the next day you have snow on the ground. So we're getting closer to that time of year for sure. Thank you so much, Hanson. I appreciate it. Yeah, it'll start earlier to the west across the Arklatex region and then move east through the Dixie Alley as we go later through the day. All right. Yeah, that's good, Cajun Redneck. I appreciate you being prepared. That's always good to do. Again, NOAA Weather Radio is the way to go, folks. That's the way to stay informed on the weather with watches and warnings. Very good tool to have is a NOAA Weather Radio, or just a simple weather app on your phone as well. If you don't have a NOAA Weather Radio, you can get one, or get one of those social media apps on your phone that are good for tracking the weather. If you have Weather Radar Omega, you could have your local news station weather app on your phone. That's very good to have. Or, again, a weather radio is the best way you can stay informed on the weather, or right here on YouTube. So definitely make sure to have all things at your disposal in case severe weather strikes tomorrow across the Deep South. We want everyone to stay safe. That's why we do these live streams, so you can stay as informed as possible. All right, folks. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everybody stays safe tomorrow. Again, a video update at 8 o'clock in the morning Central Daylight Time will be out, and we'll go from there, all right? Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are new. If you are new, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. And it's absolutely free to do. You get detailed weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics on this channel. As always, press the like button on this live stream and my videos to help get more of this information passed along to more and more people. You can always share these live streams and videos on social media, okay? So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. You guys can always do that with my videos and my live streams every day. It helps out to get more people informed on the weather. What we do here is accurate weather forecasts and give you as much data and information as possible, all right? So that is accurate. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk tomorrow morning in tomorrow's video. Have a good night, everybody.